Good morning, lovely people, and welcome to another edition of Simple Monday Reflections. And today I want to reflect on the way we learn and the importance of how we learn. So I want to ask you a question. When's the last time you went to school? Now, I'm not talking about conventional school. Of course, we haven't been to conventional school. But what I am talking about is exercising the elements that we use when we went to school. Now, when we were at school, we're encouraged to do a lot of reading and writing. We're told that reading and writing is the bedrock of learning. We're reading to enhance our learning, our knowledge base about the world and things around us. And then we're writing to reinforce what we've learnt and reinforce our learning. So, unbeknownst to us at the time, school is very important. Now, there's two elements that are very important when it comes to schooling. And even though I didn't know it at the time, because if I was asked most of you, look, what were your most memorable times in school, you'd probably recite playing with your friends or going on a school holiday or something. Very few of us, if we're honest, would say it was the writing and the reading and the homework that we were given. We overlook that side. We overlook the importance of that. But there's two important things when it comes to school that it taught us and it gave us to go on to enhance our life as we got older. And the first thing is the knowledge base. The way the curriculum is set out, it's set out to give you a general idea, a general understanding of the world around you and events and situations and people of importance that they believe. Now, arguably, you can argue and say the content isn't the best for every nation or every certain type of people, or it could be different, or it could teach us about different things. But it is a lot better, even with its limited knowledge, it's still a lot better than just being left to being told from your parents, or from learning just from what your parents tell you, or your limited experiences that you're living at that young age, because your parents still had a limited knowledge base. They wasn't really clued up about everything that was going on. They didn't have a holistic approach about learning. So the whole idea with school was to devise a certain curriculum that would give you a genuine understanding of the world around you. So that's the first important thing it gave you. And I think a lot of us overlooked that. Me personally, I overlooked that because at the time, growing up in a council estate that was infected with drugs and crime, I couldn't see how you teaching me about World War I or Leningrad, or you teaching me about certain events that happened in history. How was that going to better me living in that state? It wasn't going to stop me from getting into trouble daily. It wasn't going to stop all the drugs being sold in the estate. So I couldn't relate it to my life. That doesn't mean it wasn't important, because it was giving me a fundamental thing that I could go on to use, but I just didn't recognize it at the time. So the first thing that school was very important to give us was that knowledge base of information. Now, the second important thing that school was giving that many of us overlooked at the time, which is more important, is the method of learning. These methods of learning that we acquired in school, the methods of reflection, the methods of analyzing, the methods of researching, the methods of opinions, team building, all of these type of methods that they were giving us were adequate tools for us to go on in future when we leave school and better our lives. People have applied these methods to different aspects, but applied these same learning methods to go from rags to riches, to go from sadness to happiness, to go from having nothing to something, to totally transforming their life, because they've rigidly applied these learning methods. And they haven't just applied it to anything, they've applied it to a specific thing. Now, what I've discovered is the sad thing is that many of us, because we didn't know at the time, and we didn't really appreciate the learning that we was getting, both the knowledge and the methods that we were getting, that when school finished, we were just so happy that school had finished. Thank God school's finished. People are putting plaster Paris in their arm, and they're getting people to sign everything in their arm. People are getting your friends to sign on your t-shirts. Have a good life. School's finished. Everything about school was over now. I'm a big man now, I don't need to go back to school, So unfortunately for us, what a lot of us done is we dropped the reading and the writing. We dropped the learning processes. you know, and because we associated it with school and we no longer wanted to go to school, we dropped everything that came with school. Very few of us realized that the learning of life continues, and the learning that we got in school prepares you for life, and it builds you for what is yet to come. So only a handful of us kept the reading and the writing. Most of us didn't continue reading and writing when we left school. Or we only read and write what we wanted to do, fun things that we felt that was going to make us smile or laugh. But we didn't really learn about ourselves. We didn't apply the same methods of research, analyzing, pondering, opinion, writing down things about us. Learning about our existence in the world and the opinions that we have on things that relate to us. We didn't take that on board. We didn't take life as a learning process. We dropped that learning. So that's why I say, when's the last time you went to school? Because, you know, for example, for you to better at anything, for example, for you to get that, when we was in the school and you wanted to get the grade, everyone was searching to get the grade A. And some of us got the C or the B, but we wanted the grade A. And that grade A was determined by how much effort you put in, how much you revised, or how much you put into that dissertation or that essay. It was how much you put into the learning would determine your grade. And it's a bit like life. How much you put into the learning about yourself will determine the quality of life that you live. And the quality of life that you have will be determined by the learning that you put on yourself. How much do you put into learning about yourself? And that's why it's so important. Let's not neglect these elements of learning, and let's apply them to ourselves, so we become and get more out of life and what life has to offer us. Because, you know, if you don't apply this learning, then what happens is that you slow that process down. And you know, the least you know about yourself is the least you're able to understand when things happen around you. At least you'll be able to understand. The least you're going to be able to understand why you react in certain ways to certain situations, why you feel certain ways about certain things, because you don't understand about yourself. You know, there's a famous analogy which is so true. And what it is how you think will determine how you feel. And how you feel will determine what you do. And what you do will determine the things that you have in life. So it all starts with how you think. And the only way you're going to know how you think isn't just thinking haphazardly or thinking accidentally. It's thinking consciously. Having a conscious thought process about things that involve you in your life and the things that you're embarking in, and about yourself. You know, what do you think about how your own opinions on things? Having a conscious thought about it, not just when you're asked, but really going to school about it, so you can get that A level in life. You can get that distinction in life, in your life, and make your life a bit more fruitful. So, guys, we've got busy schedules. Many of us working hard. And, you know, we come back and you got to make dinner. Some of us are mothers, you've got to make dinner for your children. And then you go 9 to 5 work, you're up in the morning, you come back, you just want to relax. You don't want to do any homework, you don't want to do any work or anything. You know, the last thing you want to do is start writing about, what I'm interested in and so forth. And I understand that. But there's a real trueness to what you write, you invite. Whatever you write down, you invite in your life. What you write, you invite. You know, you invite that to come to fruition in your life. So you need to start writing some things. What is your vision? What is your goal? What do you want? What is your opinion on certain things? So it becomes part of you. You invite it into your life. And you're not living just by day and then just when you're asked a question, what's my view on that? No, you already have a view on it. You have a stance on it. You already know more about yourself. You know what you think, your values, your beliefs. You know these things, you know, because you've gone to work on yourself. You've gone to school on yourself. So before I close, guys, about going to school and the importance of learning, there's 3 things I think that we all should have an opinion and we should all have a learning about. And these 3 things are, what what do you think? What is your view on life? What do you believe about life? You need to go to school and learn about what do you believe about life? Is life wonderful? Is life bad? Is life hard? Is life easy? Is life what you make it? What's your view about life? And the next thing is, what's your view about other people? What do you think about other people? Are other people malicious? Are other people respond to the way they respond to you, the way you respond to them? Are other people kind and generous? Are other people just out to get their own? And the third thing is, what's your view about yourself? What do you believe about yourself? Do you believe that you can achieve anything in life? Do you believe that you're limited by your surroundings, your circumstances? Do you believe that, life is very short, so make the most of it? Or life is so short that just be comfortable and happy with what you have? What's your view about life and you and other people? These three things are very fundamental because they will determine how you think about these three things will determine how you feel. And how you feel is going to determine about what you do in life. And what you do in life will determine what you have. So how you think about yourself, other people, and the world will determine how you do. Because if you think the world is a wonderful place and, opportunities are out there, you're going to feel optimistic, you're going to feel alive. And then you're going to go out and grab the opportunities that come your way. And then you're going to have whatever they bring. But if you feel that, life is hard, it's a struggle, and, life wasn't meant to be easy for anyone, then you're going to start feeling, oh, you know what, well, life is heavy, and feel, well, you know what, I don't really need to do much. I should just be happy with what I have because, we're not supposed to have much. When you start thinking that way, you're going to start feeling a certain way, and then you're not going to do much. You're going to be happy just to sit and then accept whatever you have. And then you're only going to get what you have because you're not trying to get any more. And that's the same when it comes to yourself. What do you think about yourself? If you think that, you're dynamic, you're on fire, you're prosperous, and life is what I dare to make it. If you think that way, you're going to start feeling positive and feeling ready to go, ready to embrace any challenge that comes your way. And then as the challenges come, you're going to accept them. You're going to go into them 100%. And you're going to get the results from a few of them that come your way. Maybe not all of them, but sure, a few of them that come your way, you're going to benefit from the results of them. But if you have the view about yourself that, my parents didn't leave me much, or, I wasn't destined for much because my parents weren't much, or, I just wasn't built that way. I just wasn't, I'm just not that type of person. Then you're going to start thinking to yourself, the way you're going to feel is like, well, it's okay. Life is what it is. That's just me. You start feeling a certain way. And then your behavior, that impacts your behavior. You're not going to go for things. That's not for me. I'm not cut out for that. Yeah, that's just not me. It's not for everyone. That's going to be your default. And then you're not going to have much in life. Because it comes back down to what we say, how you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines what you do, and what you do determines what you have. And you need to go back to school. You need to go back to school and apply these learning methods to your life. So you can get the best about knowing about yourself. You can get that distinction and that A level in life, in your life, because that's what matters most, your life. Guys, that's the end of this post. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please go back to school. Even if it's a little bit of writing down, remember what we say, what you write, you invite into your life. So even just a little bit, just reflect on what matters most to you about others, what matters most to you about the world, and what's your view about yourself. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Please click the thumbs up button, like, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned, stay blessed. Life is amazing. You guys are amazing because you make it amazing. And have a fantastic day. Peace. I'm out.